Okay guys, this is a preview to the tutorial that I will produce about using GUI containers for Godot. It is evening now, so it is finally quiet in my area. Before that there was a lot of construction work going on, and there's even a bus outside at the moment making noise. But anyway, this is the scene of the GUI. You can see it's pretty complicated. Starting at the top node, which is panel container. It's important to use a container because that has dimensions and it responds to the size flag settings in the child components of the scene. And then, because this has dimensions, when we put it into a main scene, like a 2D scene, we can use the positioning properties, the anchors, and set it in the middle and use the size of it to our advantage. If it was just a node without dimensions, we wouldn't be able to make use of the size. So much noise here. And let's see, what have we got? This is the overall view of it. We have our, what we do, we open up our game design document, which tells us what we want to include in our scene here. We've got the high score statistics, basically high score level, score and lines, and then below that the next shape. What I've done here is include just some cells to represent the area covered by the next shape, and the buttons below it for new game, pause, music on, off and about. And then to the right, basically this is a 2-column design. We've used an H box to make 2 columns. On the left side we've got the GUI stuff, and on the right is the, I'll just move them now, Control Z, put it back. And then we have an area for the grid, for things falling down inside the grid, the shapes. So these are like placeholders, and then in code I've added a script. Look at the script. This is actually going to fill out the grid and provide functionality for the GUI. So we've got our GUI top level and got an H box. Then I've called the left and right sides. I've named those parts that are arranged in the H box, left and right. And the left one is actually, if you hover, you can see it's center container, because we want to center this stuff up. That'll make more sense when you actually run the scene and the grid is populated with a large matrix of 10 by 20 cells. So it'll expand it out much bigger than it is now, and this will remain centered in this left column. So in the left column we have a VBox container. This allows us to arrange things vertically, and let's click on that. Statistics is I've used a grid to arrange all of these elements, all of these labels. And we have used the words that we've used in our game design documents, such as high score, for the value, and the label doesn't need to be referenced apart from us seeing what it is in the hierarchy view here. So we put high score with underscore just to make it look meaningful here. And then let's click this. The center container will be for the next shape that will appear dropping in the grid. So this is actually a grid as well. This is just a placeholder for now, and when the game runs, this is going to be replaced with the actual shape that is coming next. New game, these are the buttons, 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 and then the right side thing is the grid of shapes. So for now it's just some stuff there, just to fill up, just to be a placeholder. And then we're going to have a dialogue, which is about, I've put in an about button there. This is not in the game design document yet, but I realized there should be an about thing that tells you how to play the game, you know, what controls to use. And if you want to do some stuff about background, you know, your company name, developers, credits, and so forth, it's useful to have an about pop-up. And then the notes that are associated with it are here, and they are in the text node there. And if we make that visible by clicking this, we can see them. We can see it and how it appears when it pops up, but we'll make it invisible for now. So, and we saw the code before. We can play the scene by clicking here, play the scene. And there it is. This is how it is laid out in our game, and you can see that it is centered and working all right, ready to go. And I implemented the pop-up. This button activates via a signal. Does it signal? Well, it activates the pop-up, and then we see, okay, or cross. So that is a little overview of what is going to be created in the tutorial that I will produce. Maybe tomorrow, next day, I'm not sure. Anyway, over and out from Andy, goodbye.